Hi, welcome back to GeeksZilla. Today we're unboxing GW's Adeptus Titanicus.
Hi guys, as Mike said, we're going to be looking at the new Adeptus Titanicus. This is Mike, I'm Gopher, and Crescent Gaming Consortium's allowed us to open their box, so we're over the moon about this.
So we've just received this up from them, and what a box.
It's a monster.
Quite literally. So this got received today, so we come in to do the unboxing. So on the back, we can see what we get in the box, which is a heck of a lot. This is Games Workshop's most expensive game to date. This box is £175. Crescent Gaming were nice enough to do discounts on their pre-orders, so we're waiting for our pre-orders to arrive as well. We got this with a nice 20% discount off, so we're quite happy about that. And yeah, we'll open it and go through it, and we'll show you what's inside.
Yeah, on you go, fire in. I'm quite intrigued. It's the first game that's actually got me interested in Games Workshop again in well over a decade.
This is almost going full circle for me. When I first started was Space Hulk and Epic. Ran an Imperial Guard army.
I never got into 40k. Epic, I loved Epic. It made sense to me. Never really dug the 40k thing. I was always a fantasy player.
Yeah, I said something about, I think Space Hulk was because of aliens, and so the next step for me was going into Epic. That
looks quite good.
So the first thing we've got there, which is very standard for a GW game, is their templates for any weapon shots. Most of the rules for the templates are on the cards for the weapons, I believe, for this, so it's not a standardized weapon template. Okay. So depending on what weapon you're firing will dictate which of the templates and what they actually do. I'm
going to need to check the templates I've got in the house to see if they're the same size as those. I don't know if
possible, not sure. And then what I can see in front of us is a very large stack of nice plastics on lots of sprues.
Plastic crack.
So from what I understand, each Warlord is built from 3 sprues. You get the endoskeleton, then the armor plates, and then a sprue which includes the weapons and the head pieces.
And all the sort of customization of
from what I can see here is a weapon sprue and the head sprue. So loads of pieces. The heads seem to be made up from 2 to 3 pieces. So 2 parts make up each side of the head, and then the eye socket area with all the different lenses and things are there as well. Yeah, loads of details.
The front facing for the rocket panels
which are on the tops.
Yeah, I think this here is the actual rocket launcher pod.
That looks like it.
But yeah, that second sprue out was exactly the same as the first sprue. So
loads of details on the pieces, well machined, really clean detail as you'd expect from Games Workshop's recent production of plastics.
Next up, looks like we've got 2 of the little knights.
Yep, so these are your knight banners, mimicking the ones that come out for 40k. So we're seeing chainswords and cannons on there, loads of little bits of armor plates and things. Really nice detail.
Yeah, that's
all the venting and things on there.
Yeah, that there looks like a little machine gun or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, a couple of lasers there. What looks like a possibly a melter fusion cannon type object there. Loads of options. There's the arm cannons, Gatlings.
There's 6 feet on this sprue. Is this actually 2 knights?
It's 3 knights.
3 knights on 1 sprue.
Yep, 3 knights per sprue.
Okay. So that's all the knights there.
It's actually a banner, which I believe is 3 knights. I'm not sure if you can go higher than that, but possibly.
Okay. Also, a banner's like the unit
of the 3 knights. Yes, they're called banners. Okay. This is the Carapace. So we've got, as you can see here, if we get that under camera there, the panels come with Heresy Legion, well, Loyal and plain banner plates, so you can put your own decals on there. Really nice detailing on the front parts and the rear of those.
So obviously this is Horus Heresy times.
Yeah, as
it says it on the
yes,
box.
it says on the box. Yeah. So at the moment the plans are just traitor legions versus loyalist legions. There is every chance it will expand to other factions in the future.
I'm really hoping the game has the depth of like BattleTech and stuff like that. I mean, the old version, like, with the heat sinks and all that.
Yeah,
sort of stuff.
there's an element of that which, when we get down to the Titan card, you'll see the weapons can generate heat. Pushing your Titan can generate further heat.
Yep.
When you, I think in the advanced rules, when you generate a certain amount of heat, you have to roll, or when you're generating heat, you roll a dice, which may awaken the machine god. And from looking at the table, it can charge off across the table at the enemy, fire its guns at stuff, and all sorts of other things. So this is the endoskeleton sprue.
Yeah, and the feet and stuff are on this one. The footprint on it is pretty big. I mean, that's like, what's almost like
Inch and a half.
Aye.
And they're sitting on the 120mm oval.
Yeah, and there's your wee bases for
the knights, which I think are 40 mils.
Yeah. Aye, that's what I was thinking. It's over 40 mils for those feet.
I have to say, I was hoping there'd be magnet spots on the bottom of the base, because to transport these, I'm going to be getting a custom box made to keep them safe.
Yep.
So it's your two.
I've got. I am glad I'm not painting this stuff.
Yeah.
Too much detail, man.
Yeah, I could be spending far too long
crazy.
looking at this. I mean, just the detailing in the, what I assume is the main body piece. So you've got the arches going along the tops of it.
Yep.
Arches along these sections.
Yeah,
the
that's
vent platings there. Just on the, what I assume is part of the engine cowl. There's a door there.
Yeah.
If I can get that under camera. Where am I? I'm there.
Oh yeah, like
you can
an
see
access
the
hatch.
access hatch, which must be, I think, on the back of the Titan. There's a little area where you get into the Titan, which has the door and a little safety rail around it and things. I'm not seeing the safety rails on here, but I'm pretty sure I've. Oh, there we go. A little safety rail just in there. These are incredible.
Yeah.
I have to say, when they released the prices on there, my first instinct was, wow, that's really expensive. And then with the realization that you're getting 2 warlords with 6 sprues, 2 knights, a sprue each, and then the buildings.
3 knights.
Yeah, 3 knights, but 2 sprues and knights. And then this is your building sprues, which you can customize. So again, loads of details on there, and I believe there's 8 sprues of these.
5 big ones.
One of those isn't a building sprue, so that's the templates.
Yeah.
So yeah, the detail on the buildings, again, just, you could spend ages painting these up.
Yeah, so these 4 sprues are identical. But yeah, let's see if I can get that under here.
There we go.
And
nice gothic doors.
Yeah. It's basically, obviously it's just miniaturized versions of the 40k scenery they do. It's really nice.
So what we've got on the final sprue, we've got the Arc of Fires, and I believe these are also used in turning for movements. You line them up with a base. So you've got them for the Warlords, and I assume for the Reavers. I'm assuming all 3 are different sizes, so I'm going to assume that's the Warlords. This one will be for Reavers, and this one will be for the Warhounds, which are coming in the future.
So, yeah.
We've got an objective, which is a down Titan head. I believe this is the first player marker, which is really nicely detailed, so a lot of paint going into that to make it look really nice. These along the side are for marking your Titan's damage and shields. What we've got here is, I believe, stress markers from X-Wing. I think these represent your critical damage. So I think these go on when you hit critical damage on there. These tokens are marked double-sided. I think they are to represent doubles. So you can mark it up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then they go up to 10 by flipping them over.
I think these are the objective markers with other things on them. Like
these, you can
this
actually
and
buy
the
them,
gun.
I believe. So you can get stuff like the lasers, the missile silos and stuff.
I thought
This
they
is
were
a radar
objectives.
dish.
Right, okay, so you can these are things you can buy and put on
Yeah,
the table.
so the gun things on the table will actually, you can use them during your turn and things.
Nice.
So I believe on the cards you can buy them and stuff.
Okay.
That will become more clear when we get further through the stuff. But even the detail on these, the little skulls on the markers, and they've got a little nibbit on the back, which
goes
then
into the card.
goes into the punch cards.
Cool. So
The box on the cards, I believe, comes with 2 Warlords, 2 Reavers and 2 Warhounds. Even though they're not released yet, you'll have the stat cards for them.
okay. So we now have a sheet of paper with instructions
Which
on
have
stuff.
your battlefield asset and assembly instructions, which are the things we were just talking about. So your radar dishes, your guns, missile silos, and various other things. On the other side of that is just the box art, I believe.
Oh, that's nice.
So you get a copy of that.
Would go in a frame, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it really is a nice piece of art. But for now, it can go over here.
So then we've got the.
Small sample chapter.
So it's Dan Abnett's latest book, I'm assuming.
Yep, looks like it. I wonder if this is just something that's been done for this. I didn't even know
I
this
would
was in here.
imagine it's a book he's written in conjunction with this, so that'll be a sample chapter to get you to buy the actual book.
Yep, I'll have a read of that tonight. So
No
plastic
rules, god damn it!
So plastic ruler, that's actually a lot thicker than you'd expect, and really nice detailing on it.
That is quite cool. Can't really see that
Just have,
fantastically,
there you
but
yeah, so
some very
that's
fine
nice.
detailing on it.
I wonder how many weapons are actually under 12-inch ranges or 12 inches.
Ooh, dice.
So custom dice, as you can see on the 6, you've got the leading symbol. You also have in there hit location dice, which has stuff like body, special,
legs
and
head.
so on.
There's
You've
a
got
D10.
your D10, which is for skill checks. Your order dice, so that will give you different things on the order that you're choosing to try and take in that turn, which will be like movement, split fire, and things like that.
Yeah.
And they're really nice quality dice by
There's
the looks of
another
those.
D10 in there as well.
Yeah, so 1 each.
Yep. That's funky.
What we've got here is the weapon decks, and these, looking at them already, are for your Warlords, your Reavers, and your Warhounds. So what that gives you on here, if I can get that under camera, there we go.
Without the shiny light on it.
Yeah, can't help with that. So it's got what type of Titan it's for, so that one's for the Warlord. It's point costs, what it is, ranges, its bonuses for attack, its arc of attack, how many dice it rolls, its strength, which I believe your Titans have various armor, so you roll your strength, add a d6 I believe, and it's how much damage it does, and what other traits it has, and when it's disabled it gets flipped over, which gives you the weapon and how it repairs. So that's quite nice.
Cool.
So loads of those for going forward for your different mechs. Now, one of the things is the sprues at the moment only come with the preset weapons on them. So we'll see a weapon pack get released at some point which has other weapons you can add. The Titans come with preset holes for 5mm magnets by 1mm.
There we go. That's what I was said. I was just about to ask: is are you going to magnetize the arms so that you
I
can?
certainly
change out
am.
for-
I've already
for
ordered
other
magnets. If you look on one of the sprues, I think on the legs, no, it's not the legs, on the weapon sprue, you can see where the two halves go together leaves a round shell.
Oh, like there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. And there's one on the head as well.
Nice.
So this is your stratagem cards. Really nice cards, nice quality, nice print. With your tricks and tactics, vital cargo, so these will be used for your mission during the game, I assume. Stuff like outflank, see page 64 of Adeptus Titanicus rulebook to see the full rules for the stratagem. At the start of the movement phase of the first round, this unit appears on long range auspex, revealed to the opposing player which neutral flank was chosen. During the movement phase of the second round, The outflanking unit can be activated when it's set up so that the rear arc is at the base, touching that chosen flank, and it can move any further this phase.
These are really nice quality.
Yeah.
Quality cards.
Notice that with the stuff for Necromunda, the card quality was really nice. So what we can see here is a selection of transfers for your Titans and your Knights. Really nice detailing on those. I've never had much success with putting these on miniatures.
I'm not bad with them actually.
I might be coming to you for that then.
Right, okay. No, there's a trick to it. It's dead easy. Just make sure the surface you're putting it onto is already wet.
There we go.
So yeah, you put the slide in the water, wait for it to come off the paper.
Chris was right. When you have all these things with plastic wrap on them, you use your teeth.
Yeah. Put some water on the surface that you're going to attach the slide to, and then use the brush to lift it onto it, and you've got some manoeuvring with it because there's water underneath it. Then let it set. I
was terrible when it came to doing planes when I was a kid.
Yeah. Speaking of Chris, I mate Chris who does all the Hot Toy stuff. He's a gamer. He plays like Magic and board games with us and all that sort of stuff. He's not really a war gamer. So what we're going to do is I'm going to jump out and we're going to get him to come in and have a look at it and have a sort of an opinion from a non-war gamer on the contents.
Excellent.
Okay.
So this is the Questor support banner. So gives you all your details for your Knights. So stuff like ballistic skill, weapon skill, and so on and so forth, how fast they move. Spot for your order dice. Now these are punched down, so they've got slightly raised areas, a bit like Space Hulk.
Yeah, so you can, but that's so you can set things on it.
So the dice goes there, so when you put your order dice down, it goes into that. And then has...
Is that where those wee numbers go that you were showing us the discs?
Could very much well be the case. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Seems to be about the same size. So as you can see on the Knights, if I can get the light not shining fully on them, you can see their weapons are already preset on there. So they've got like their Avenger Gatling cannons, thermal cannons, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm joined by Chris. I'm just going to finish going through the Titan cards, and then we'll have a quick look. If you want to have a look at some of the things, you can see the quality of the product.
I like the dice.
Yeah, the dice are really nice. So what we've got here is a Warlord data card. So what we can see on here is your command values, your ballistic skill, your weapon skills, and so on. Your reactor heats and your void shield. So as they take damage, they get worse. So your dice roll to save goes up. Down here is the damage to the parts. The more damage it takes, again, the worse they get for saving, and your critical damage. And down at the bottom is where your different weapon mounts are. So you'll see your arm cards and your Carapace weapons. So when you are choosing your weapons for your warlords, you put them down here, all adds up to the total price. So again, spot for your order dice at the top, which is really nice, but the quality of these is really good. Really nice thick card, as we can see there. A little bit of a curve on them from unboxing, but that will flatten out with no problems. But with the varnishing on here and the slightly raised and lowered areas on the card is really nice. I think you were commenting on that on one of your last unboxings about the card for the Thing.
Yeah, the Thing, no, this is a lot thicker, to be honest.
But it's got that very similar lowered and raised areas in some parts of it.
Yeah. Nice, it's nicely done. That's just when I was looking at this, it's been a while since I've played anything from Games Workshop, to be fair. I've only played the odd tabletop game, but I have to say the detail has came on a lot since I used to play.
Yeah, their plastics of late have been fantastic. The Necromunda details have been brilliant. So these are your Knights. So you get at the moment a banner, 3 of those. So each sprue has the 3 full banner Knights. And then on this pile here, this is all the bits that make up your Warlord Titan. So this is your endoskeleton. So makes the main body parts. Build that up. Then the next pieces that get mounted on are on the next sprue, which is all the armor plates, which go over the top. So all your Carapace and things. And then the next one is the weapons and head mounts. They're pre-areas on their pre-round holes for magnets, so you can magnetize everything, because they'll be releasing in the coming months weapon sprues, which have all your different weapons. So on the small deck of cards, which is kicking about somewhere, I think on your side, these are your weapons. So when you're building your when you're building your Titans, you choose your weapon configs. So the standard sprues come with 2 arm weapons, which are the same in the missiles on the top. But going forward, you can get different weapons for it. I've already seen people who have managed to get pre-release stuff converting the weapons over already. So you're seeing power fists coming from other stuff onto the Titans.
No,
so what we will see
very impressed. Very impressed.
Is the Reaver Titan and the Warhound Titan coming out in the coming months, which will be really nice. But you've already got the data cards, so you can see how they'll stack up against your. So the Warlord versus the Warhounds. The Warhound's only got 2 arm weapons, nothing on its carapace, slightly less shields, slightly less damage it can take. Not as good with its command value, but slightly faster than your Warlord Titan. So what we can see on the Warlord Titan stat as well, which is one of the things is we're saying about putting more power into when you're deciding what you're going to do in a turn, you can overcharge the reactors. Now the knock-on effect with that is it will overheat, so you're firing more weapons, doing more stuff, it'll burn up, and there'll also be a chance of waking the Machine God, which can take over your Titan and have you charging off across the battlefield and things. But on the speed that you can see there, if we can get that in shot without it being glary, we can see there is a standard as a speed 4, but you can burn the power up for a 6-inch move instead. So, and manoeuvring 1 or 2 turns, which again will boost power to the reactor. As you take damage on your void shields, you'll be rolling d6 for every hit that comes in, and the less void shields you have, the harder it is to stop shots coming through. So eventually your shields will fail and you will start taking damage. And even, which is something that doesn't normally come in the standard box sets, is you have a hardback rulebook, which it used to be always a case of that in your box sets became a soft rulebook. But here we have, as you would say, nice UV spot varnishes on there. Really nice quality book. Even has
It's even got a page divider.
your stats for the sort of the Warhounds and stuff. So really nice diagrams on there showing you their build-ups, history of the wars and things, and your rules and everything going through. But really nice quality print and the rule book. Really nice finish to the page and the artwork and everything. So they've put a lot of time and effort into this rule book.
I love that smell of new print.
Yeah,
love it.
When you get a decent print book, it's just wonderful. So just the artwork in here. So for your different Titan Legions and the paint jobs for them. So you can choose which following you are, and if I'm not mistaken, they have different bonuses to them. So when you're playing a particular type of Legion or set of mechs, I keep saying it, Titans, you get benefits for which you choose. So here you have Mana Pool, which depends on what you take, gets you bonuses in it as well. So once I've read up on the rules, I'll know a bit more about that, but you'll get bonuses depending on how you configure your setups on what Titans you're bringing to the fight. So some of them will be more Warhounds, more Reavers, maybe just Reavers and Warhounds. So what you can see here is this particular set. You take a Reaver and Warhounds, which gives you the flexibility of movement versus going up against a Warlord, which you might only have a Warlord and some Banner Knights. So the advantage here will be swifter moving Titans. So once they start releasing these, we'll see like people having multiples of those facing off against maybe one Warlord and a Reaver.
Are there recognisable chapters within this? I mean, have you got like Ultramarines and Blood Angels?
No, the way that Adeptus Titanicus works is the legions are different.
Okay.
So the Titan houses aren't your Marine chapters.
Right, okay.
So for a lot of people that play 40k and have the Knights and things like this, they'll know a lot more about what there is now. So instance in that one, Legio Mortis, and they're different paint jobs on their different size of mechs. On this one, so that shows you their paint schemes and what have you, and there'll be different ones throughout the book. That one is the Banner Knight, the Knight Banner for Parisnia, and it shows you their paint jobs and stuff on there. So yeah, you won't have marine chapters as such. Yep, absolutely. What else? There's still more stuff in here.
I've got to admit, I'm really impressed with the design of this, and even just the miniatures. I think the last GW game I bought and played was Inquisitor when it first came out, which was a long time ago.
That was around about, I believe, 2001, because that's when I moved to Glasgow. So I remember
Yeah,
that was one of the early ones.
it.
Yes, yes. I still have the miniatures kicking around somewhere. I think some of them anyway.
But no, this is incredible.
So this is what it has also come with is summary sheets. So it has all the rules. So on the back there we can see damage effects and what have you, what page in the rulebook there is, so you don't have to hunt through to find it. Your orders, where they are in the book. So you can just reference the table. If you need more information, you know where to look in the rulebook. And I think that's a really fantastic idea. More games should have the page reference numbers on the cheat sheets because it makes life so much easier.
And I take it they'll be getting laminated.
Either laminated or I'll find something to encase them in, one way or another.
Are you going to laminate them or just copy them and laminate?
Maybe copy and laminate.
Yeah,
or if I can find.
It's been a collector that laminating a thing that comes out of a box that just doesn't sit well with me.
So what we have in the last bit here, I believe, is the build instructions. If I can actually get in.
Oh, that's nice.
There goes the thing again.
Yep. That is lovely, just the terrain and.
Yeah, so what we've got, as you can see in that picture, is the buildings. I believe are off these sprues, some of them. So these sprues the buildings can be configured in different ways, so there's not a set way to build them, I believe. So the instructions, really nice, really good detail on there, so there's no questioning where things go, how to put them together, which I think is really nice. They put a lot of effort into that. And also, by the looks of it, they have painting guides, which I believe are for 2 different houses. So one will be, I assume, the loyalists, and one being the traitors. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Gav. So again, with your Titan, I know people that are probably already going to be starting to build these as soon as they get them. I'm going to try and get that done so I can get games as quickly as possible. Now the thing is, watching a lot of the online paint guides that people have done. So for instance, names Beast of War. It's probably best to paint parts of it before you glue them all together. So especially the armor plates, paint the endoskeletons, then do the plates separately and then add them on, and then do the weapons separately with them being magnetized. Makes it really good. And finally, that's the build instructions for the buildings, which again, really detailed, really nice and easy to figure out how they go together by following the instructions. And yeah, gives you some really nice terrain.
That's the first time I've sort of seen the instructions of actually building figures and scenery and stuff like that.
Yeah, they've been really good on defining how you put the miniatures together. So with Necromunda, we saw pre-generated characters for the box set. So there was a particular way to build them. So the instructions were there for that, and you can build them in slightly different ways. Mm-hmm. For this is, I'd say it's not limited, but the posability of the warlords when you're building them, you can lift knees and things. I think there's a lot of movement in the actual build of these. For some of their miniatures, you can get away with some of the poses, but like I was building the Orlocks for Necromunda, and there's a particular arm that fits a particular gun because the fingers are attached to the gun and stuff like that. But for this, there's a lot more maneuverability for how you build them. So different heads you can put on different plates on different areas. The weapons will be able to be configured depending on what you buy. Yeah. So yeah, for £175 worth of stuff.
Ouch.
Yeah, we got it for 140. A lot of online shops were doing it cheaper, so our pre-order when it arrives, 140 quid for everything you see here. Buying it all separately, I believe, is roughly 230, 240 pounds worth of stuff in this box. It's a limited edition, so the Grandmaster edition sold out within hours of it going on general release on last Saturday. Right. I jumped straight in with Friendly Game Shop, so as soon as it went live, I was straight on there for me and mates going, we want X amount of copies, and job done. We got our orders. I know some people that missed out, but that's just the way it goes. There's a second version of this going to come out next year, so they're doing another one. They didn't know how well it will sell, So they did a limited release for this one, and then they'll be able to buy it next year when it gets released again. But there are box sets available. So there's a £100 box set which comes with a rule pack and a Warlord. The Warlords, I believe the Titan sells for about 60 by itself.
How many figures do you get in this one?
You get 2 Warlords and you get 6 Knights, which are your small ones on the sprues there.
8 figures.
So you're getting your 8 figures, 3 Knights aside, a Warlord aside, and then the building sprues. There's 8 sprues of buildings. I'm not sure exactly how many that makes, but it's quite a lot. It will need more scenery eventually, and the rule book.
I'd say that I'd easily suggest that people would be paying £40 for that. It's probably more.
The rule set, which comes with the Titan cards, the weapon cards, the tactic cards, the sprue with the templates on, and the battlefield assets, and the rule book is about, I think it's £40. So that's not bad when you're getting that. I think it comes with the dice as well. So you're getting quite a lot now. I mean, you're getting, how many dice is in that bag?
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 3, 35.
35 dice. And they're all custom dice. Really nice finish to them. High quality dice. So yeah, get them built, get them painted, get them on the table. We shall have a battle report coming soon, as soon as I can get everything built and painted. I'd like to see them not unpainted on the table. I'd like to see them with paint on, if not finished, nearly finished. So yeah, a lot of work
really
ahead of me,
painted.
I think.
Yeah, really nice painted. But saying that, because of the amount of detail in them, it's in a way it makes it easier, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of guides on there for putting them together, and because they're supposed to be so big, there's not a lot of detail in the paneling, because you're talking about things that are the size of skyscrapers. So, you know, I saw John from Beast of War using a new paint I've got to track down. It was a metallic black, which was fantastic because he didn't want a high silver sheen, and when he put it on, it looked lovely. So I need to track that down for doing the base coating of these.
Who was it that made it?
I don't know, that's what I'm going to find out.
Right,
I need to go back and watch the video I was watching the other night.
The one thing I've noticed as well is each little piece is so clean, there wouldn't be much cleaning work involved in
no, once you snip them away, file that piece off, I can't see much in the way.
You usually get little bits of plastic or metal, and it was metal figures sort of hanging off it, but I don't see anything at all. Yeah,
sometimes you'll see on this is a mould line, and to be honest, looking at these, I think the way that they've set them to join together, the mould lines are hidden. I think a lot of thought's gone into the way that they've put the things on sprues and the way that they've designed things to hide any sort of lines on them. I think once they're together, they're going to look clean as anything.
No, I'm well impressed for games like I said. I've tried Games Workshop's games for a while, but that is blew me away how the detail was in them.
Yeah,
blew me away.
Fantastic. Well worth the money. Just alone for the amount of stuff that's in there. The amount of plastic that's sitting on this table right now is why it's what it costs. I mean, when you look at 40k, you might have 8 sprues of figures at the most, and that's, you know, I think you're talking now roughly about £60-70 for the box set, possibly even more. Necromunda was 75. It had 20 miniatures, some bulkheads, some bits and pieces. It was nice, don't get me wrong. Really nice thick tiles, double-sided and things like that. But for this, the amount of sprue that's here.
I've got a cheat to go at the price when you actually do quite a lot in this. When I buy toys,
when we look over there at Han Solo or a TIE fighter that's sitting right behind me.
These
now
are the things that always scare me.
Yeah,
I have
never
never been able to do these right, and I'm doing the Build a Millennium Falcon thing, and you get some of these with it, and I'm frightened to use it, to be honest.
I'll go over that again with you as well, because I've seen a tutorial on how to do it, and I've tried it, and it works brilliantly.
Every time you try it, it rips, and
there's a way to do it. There's a very easy way to do it, and it works really well.
He's painting some of my figures anyway at some point.
I'm going to have to learn how to use the airbrush now. I need to anyway, but this really has to be airbrushed, at least the panels, just so you get a nice clean flat colour on them. So yeah, Adeptus Titanicus coming soon to a table near you.
Very nice.
Yep, subscribe to the channel, comment below what your thoughts on Adeptus Titanicus. If you've got Adeptus Titanicus, comment on what house you're choosing for your warlords. If you're going custom, what custom colours you're using. Just generally comment. interact. We're starting to get a nice following. You know, the interaction we are getting is good. But we always want more.
Building up,
Yeah.
On Facebook.
Yep, we've got a page, we've got a group. Join both. We put videos up on both. We have a closed group, but we have an open page. So
the group's where most of the community sort of interact and things like that, obviously. So.
Gets lots of silly stuff posted there daily. We also, in one of our previous videos, we're running a competition to win a £65 2-player start set for a game called Street Wars NYC. Just going to go and get the figures just now. All you need to do is subscribe to the channel, make sure it's visible, make a comment on that video, just anything, hi, whatever you like, just as long as we can see it, and you can win a 2-player starter, two gangs, rulebook, the cards, nice metal miniatures, really nice sculpts, very characterful. 1970s New York street fights. You've probably seen some films that are loosely based on this. The guy that did it is a big fan.
Warriors and things like that.
Yeah, he's put on a lot of similarities to his figures and that. Really nice kung fu game that. We've had, I'm having a game on Tuesday. I'm looking forward to it. Catch up with Ian see how his game's going, because I know he's got a lot more things in the pipeline. I think he's almost ready to release the free rules for the turtles in Street Wars as well. Can't wait to see that. So yeah, subscribe, comment, join in. We'll get more videos coming soon. If there's a particular thing you want to see, we'll try and get the game, get it on camera. If we haven't got it, we'll probably know somebody that does. So we'll just get Gof back in, who's hanging around at the side.
Hello.
Thanks guys,
Right,
and thanks to Chris for coming in.
Cheers.